Hey guys, this is Paranoid. Today I wanted to make a video about Throne War. So this is a beginner subject. People that have been playing for more than a month or two probably already know this. So it's just intended for new players. So before I get started, just as a general guideline to players in this game, everything you're not sure about or you want to learn more, just click on the building or the item and look at the information. And here, if we look at the magic tower, we can see the building effect. Occupy the magic tower for a certain amount of time to reduce your alliance city of throne occupying time or increase the enemy city of throne occupying time. And it increases the alliance healing speed by 25%. And on the top right, you can click the info and it gives you more info about the magic tower. And the important thing here at the magic tower is that you can solo march the magic tower. You cannot rally it, so you're going to have to take it and hold it alone, and that every 30 or 100 or 200 minutes it reduces the occupying time by 15, 50, and then 100 minutes, and vice versa. And another important thing to note is that the magic tower buffs will reset if the magic tower changes its occupier or City of Throne changes its occupier. So I'll explain all this in a little bit. Basically, on every server at the center of the map, you have the throne, and usually there's a gentleman's agreement between either the top 3 alliances or the top 5 alliances on some type of throne rotation where someone will take the throne for 2 weeks and then it will go to the next alliance and then it will go to the next alliance. Some newer servers have like a really strong player who can just decide to hold it for 5 or 6 weeks, but it doesn't really give you too many bonuses to holding the throne, so it's nice to pass it around and give everyone a chance to have it. So let's see, before I go into how to capture it, I'll explain a little bit about what features or bonuses the City of Throne has. So if we click City of Throne here, you can see here wartime countdown 4 days and 7 hours. So it happens every week at Saturday night. You can capture the throne, and the first time that it's captured, if your server is new and no one has captured it yet, there's gonna be a few 100,000 T12 or T11s in here. It's not too hard to capture. The strongest guy on your server will probably capture it within 1 week. You need like 300,000 T13s, I think, something like that. It's not too hard to capture, or you can rally it with your alliance with T12 or T11s. So just give it a shot. And you need to hold. I'll go over the battle. I'll go over the battle in a second. Basically, when you're the king, whoever the alliance that captures it, the monarch of that alliance becomes the king. This is only true for Throne War, not for server vs server. So if your alliance captures it, doesn't matter who attacked it or who's holding it, the monarch of that alliance is going to be the king. So if my alliance attacks it, I can be sleeping, but I'm the monarch of my alliance, then I'm going to be the king for the next week, for the entire week, and I can hand out titles. Various titles. I can hand out titles to various people. They give different bonuses, resource gathering speed, and so on. Usually you'll just ask your alliance what titles they want, and you might ask important players from other alliances if they want a specific title. Usually the important titles are Scholar, increase research speed by 15%, and Craftsman, increases construction speed by 15%. These are nice to have, but even then you can definitely survive without them. You're going to have probably 200% bonus to construction speed from your duty officer and from your sciences bonus and from your subsidies. So if you have another 15%, it's nice, but you can do without it and get your K35s and K34s without it, so it's not the end of the world. And you can change these titles every day. So I can tell one player I'm going to give you construction speed right now for a day or two, and then someone else from the alliance wants it. So get your buildings in now, speed them up, or just start your big buildings. And tomorrow I'm gonna give it to another player so he can get his buildings done. So when you're king, you can hand out these titles. You can hand out negative titles if you want. It's not usually done. You can hand out negative titles, and you can hand out award packages to various players. They're not a big bonus, but it's nice to have to give all the top alliances some packages. The top players, the R4 players in your alliance, some senior award packages which give some gems and some speed ups. It's really minimal, guys. It's not a big deal. If you get it, say thanks, and if you don't get it, just as well. You're not missing too much. So this is what the king usually does. He sends out some award packages to all his friends and to the top players, and he gives titles to the important players, and he sends the mail to all the top alliances. So when you send a mail from the king, all the alliances on the server, not everyone, but all the R5 and R4 leaders of the alliances, so players on the normal, on a different level in the alliance, aren't going to get it. So if we look at my alliance, if the king sends a message, then the guardian here, the monarch, will get it, Sokovia, and then all the commanders, all the R4 will get it. But people here, the R3 and R2, are not going to get it. So it's important that if the king sends a mail, that the leaders send it to the rest of the alliance. And usually the king will send mails like, will there be a kill event this week or not? Or there will be a kill event, but we're not attacking subsidies. So usually the king is going to set some rules for the server on how to behave this week or the next week. It's not always like that, but a lot of servers are like that. And he can rename he can change the server name, and he can change the architecture of the throne. Not a big deal. So usually you send mail telling everyone hi, telling everyone there's no kill event or there will be a kill event and so on. Send the titles. And here you can see the previous kings. And as you see here, usually the Bumble on our server took it first, and someone asked him to have a rotation. He was much stronger than everyone, but he said, yeah, sure, we can have a throne rotation. That's what people usually do. And you can see that people usually hold a throne for 2 weeks, twice in a row. And that is because once you're king, the server king for twice in a row, you unlock your wings, some type of king wings, the golden wings, and it's a nice flex. But after playing for long enough, most people are going to have the wings anyways. And Conqueror is for server vs server. You can see if anyone managed to capture your throne and hold it, and we got conquered by this guy Raptor and his alliance. And during server vs server, when you get captured, it's the player that sent the rally or that captured the throne. He's going to be the conqueror. It's not going to be the monarch of that alliance. It's going to be the player that started the rally and went into the throne. So that's a little bit about the position of the king, what his duties are, what he does. He might communicate with the other server during SVS and tell them we want a throne truce or we want a throne war and so on. And how do you capture it? So I'll explain a little bit about the buildings. And like I said previously, and this is true to everything in Evony, just read it by yourself. It's going to give you some information. So there are 2 throne towers, and these basically attack the troops that are here. So if someone puts 1 million troops in here, and an enemy or someone from a different alliance captures this, then this tower is gonna attack the 1 million troops that are in here and kill a certain percentage. It's significant, so you don't want to allow it. Sorry, you don't want to allow it because it kills a few percent every few minutes. And we can see here it kills first after 180 seconds and then every 300 seconds, every 5 minutes. And if we click the information, we can see that a player can solo attack and capture the throne tower, and they can start a rally. That's number 1. And number 2 says about how often the attacks are made, 180 seconds, and then every 300 seconds, every 5 minutes. and the troops that are killed are given to the score is given to the player that's attacking, basically. So that's about this. The hero tower doesn't do too much. It's not so important to hold it. Increases your hospital capacity, the march size, and the alliance healing speed. And you can see here on number 1, a player can solo the hero tower, and you're not supposed to get dead troops, only wounded troops from this. If your hospital is big enough, you're not supposed to have dead troops like you have in normal PvP on your server, only wounded. And it just gives bonuses to hospital size and healing speed, basically. It's not so important. And this usually is the important tower. So if you capture the City of Throne, you have to hold it for 5 hours straight to become the king. And this gives you a reduction time, like we said. And if you hold this for the entire time of holding the City of Throne, you're gonna be able to capture the City of Throne about after 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So 5 hours is a long time to be online and be watching stuff. So usually you want to hold this as well, and it reduces the time to 4 hours. I'm sorry if you might be hearing my baby in the background. My wife is taking care of him, but it's a newborn baby and she's pretty active right now. So the magic tower, I went over this briefly, and it tells you how long you have to hold it and how much reduction it gives you in minutes. So basically you need to hold all the buildings. And what people usually do, I'll just give an example right now. If I'm gonna be the next king, or someone in my alliance is gonna be the next king, I'm gonna teleport, and I'm gonna send 1 soldier to each building. I'm gonna occupy this with 1 soldier, this with 1 soldier, this, even though it's not necessary, this with 1 soldier, and I'm gonna occupy this with 1 soldier. It's usually no one's gonna fight over it, because the server is gonna have an agreement who's next to capture the throne. So it's enough for 1 player or 2 players just to put a soldier in each building, and that's it. If you're afraid of someone trolling or accidentally sending a march against you, then you can send more troops if you want, but usually you just send 1. And another thing to note here on the grass, if you're anywhere here on the grass, then you cannot bubble. And if I want to bubble here, my liege, you cannot use a truce agreement when your city is in the City of Throne area. So anywhere here, and this is true for SVS as well, you cannot bubble anywhere here. And if you are here, you can bubble if you're outside the grass. But if you take any of the buildings here, then you're not able to bubble. If I capture this or any building here, then I need to stay unbubbled for the entire duration. And it's just something to keep in mind. Like I said, usually on your server, it's not going to matter because you're going to have an agreement. It might be more relevant during SVS if you're going to capture any buildings from the enemy. Just keep in mind that you can't bubble until someone recaptures it, either an alt or one of the enemy recaptures it. So if they might come after you, they might hunt you down if you take the magic tower. They might be gunning for you, and even if you go back to your server, you can't bubble. So just something to keep in mind. That's pretty much it. Sorry about all the messages. That's pretty much it. The gentleman's agreement usually on most servers is to have a throne rotation, so all the alliances can enjoy it a little bit, give titles to their friends. But it really depends on it usually depends on the big coiner on your server. Each server is going to have like 1 or big coiners, and they're the shot callers. Oh my god. And they're the shot callers, so they're going to decide. But even the big players, they don't want to start fighting with people. They don't want someone to get mad and go rogue and start killing tiles and killing farms and stuff like that. So just so everyone gets along, it's usually a rotation. On our server, we do it. The people who score the highest in SVS, get to be the king, so they can unlock their wonder and various other bonuses. Let me think if I forgot anything here. The magic, yeah, an important note about the magic tower. So we said that if you hold the magic tower and the throne for the entire duration, then it's going to reduce the time you need to capture the throne from 5 hours to 4 hours. An important thing to note that if this gets reset at any point, if an enemy captured this at any point, let's say after 3.5 hours, then you're gonna lose the entire time bonus. It's not like you gain it and it stays with you. So if after 3 hours and 59 minutes, 1 minute away from capturing the throne, someone captures it, then I'm gonna go back to needing another hour, to needing 5 hours total to capture the throne. And because you cannot rally this, you can only solo march this, then it becomes really hard to hold it if someone wants to take it from you. Because if I'm trying to hold it with ranged troops, someone might kill me with a ground march and so on. So it becomes really hard to hold this and defend this, and you need to hold it for the entire duration. And that goes the same for the City of Throne. You need to hold it for 5 hours straight, or 4 hours straight if you have the throne and the magic tower. And if someone comes after 3 hours and 59 minutes and just takes it for 1 second, captures it from you for 1 second, you're gonna need to recapture it and hold it again for 5 hours. So in that sense, you need to be you need to worry about trolls or some people like that. If you're sending one troop, then some alt level troll might come, and level 10 noob might come and send 10 troops at it or 100 troops at it and take it from you. So it might be wiser to send just enough to stop the noobs from messing around. That's it. The throne towers don't matter too much. They fire every few minutes, and just make sure you have them, and you can rally them as well if you want. And like I said, the monarch of the alliance is gonna get the title, and he's just gonna give titles to other people and set the server rules usually, and give some award packages. It's exciting at the first time, but then it's just pretty much a rotation that you do every week, and you need to stay up a couple hours to do it, and that's about it. So hopefully this helps the new players understand what the City of Throne is, or the Throne War is.